What's up? Welcome to Truth Be Told, where every man is king and the truth unfolds, and every word spoken comes from the soul, and the audience members love to take control. No topic is taboo, we talk about it all, and the host so funny you gonna shout and fall out your seat. Your life's not complete without a moment of truth. Once every 2 weeks, and we speak like none other. Educated real brothers, family style for you, your kids and your mother, and we love to gain your trust. Just sit right down, relax and enjoy. This is where the truth is found. Truth be told.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's going on, people?
How you doing?
We'd like to welcome you to Truth Be Told, where every man is king. Sometimes.
That's right.
I'm one of your hosts, RealEyez Mystic, OTS Entertainment. Ever.
And I'm Mr. Sundjata Shakur, Mr. Bowtie, not Fonzo Bentley.
Hip Hop with Substance is in the building.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So, we'd like to welcome y'all back. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We got a good show lined up tonight.
Definitely do.
We got some good topics. Some stuff that we actually wanted to talk about last week, but the show was so action-packed and intense. We didn't get a chance to get to it, so we're gonna get to it this week.
Definitely.
All right. So, getting right into it. First things first. A new thing we're doing now. We're gonna refer back to the It's All Truth page on Facebook and discuss every show. We're going to discuss at the beginning of the show something that was like kind of a hot topic on the page.
Right.
Excuse me. So what we're going to discuss is this picture right here. We're going to give you guys a second to actually see it. Go to the picture. So, if you guys saw that, the picture said, "Forget weed, legalize my mom."
Yes.
So, there were some people who had some interesting views on this picture on the page. We won't say the names, but if you go to the page, facebook.com/itsalltruth, you'll see it for yourself.
That's right.
All right. Any thoughts? What are your thoughts on that picture, Sundjata? You posted it. What do you think about it?
Let's say his name. His name's already up there.
You're right.
See his name. Jimmy E. Bell. Put you on blast here, Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy?
We had a good spirited debate on there, Jimmy. And Jimmy said, basically, if you are here illegal, then get out. 4 exclamations. So me, being that I'm an immigrant, most people I know are immigrants.
Hi.
And I love immigrants. I had to get in there. Now, most of the time, I don't ever say anything on the page. You know, I feel that if you want to hear my opinion, you watch the show. But Jimmy said this, and I just had to get into the spirited debate with Jimmy. So when Jimmy get out, I said, Jimmy, not everyone who is not Native American is here illegally. That's what I said. So he then said, no, I'm a citizen of the United States of America. That's what it actually says.
United States of America.
Look, United States. Stairs right there.
So, I don't know where that is, Jimmy, but God bless the United States of America.
That's right. My family came to this country, stopping at Ellis Island and going through the proper steps to be here. Another thing, an illegal alien. What party of illegal don't people understand? If it is illegal narcotics, everyone understands the illegal part real quick. So Jimmy said that, and then I just repeated, Jimmy, we are on Native American land. So they are the only people on this land who are not illegal.
That's right.
So I went in there. So Jimmy, I don't want to go through the full debate of what Jimmy and I said. But if you want to see the full debate of what Jimmy and I went through, you can go to the page. So Jimmy and I said that. And I basically went on and point out the benefits of having immigrants like myself and like Mr. RealEyez, who's from London, England.
Yeah, / Nigeria. Shout out
Where
to
were
my
you born?
Nigerians. I was born in London.
That's right.
But my heritage is Nigerian. Yeah.
When did you come here?
I was 6.
6.
I had a British accent and everything back then.
You still have it?
No.
Oh. Okay.
That's the Brooklyn and the Bronx and Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we both immigrants. I had to go in on Jimmy, and then Jimmy stopped the debate. And this was the reason I put this up there, because it was on Mother's Day. And I felt that, you know, we have people in this country that they don't have the proper paperwork to be here, and they're in the shadows. So if you're going to do something, forget weed, legalize the mothers who are here. So that was our political statement for Mother's Day.
Okay, yeah. I agree. I mean, this country was built on the backs of immigrants.
That's right.
You know, we can go all the way back to slavery, but, you know, not even that far back. Still to this day, you know what I mean? In a maybe 10 to 15 years, the dominant race in this country is going to be Hispanic. You see what I'm saying? Like, those people who have the mindset that feel like immigrants need to go back to where they came from, you guys, I'm not going to say that you're stupid. I'm thinking it. I'm not going to say that. It doesn't make any sense. This country is based off of that, and they're not going anywhere. I mean, honestly, what if the Native Americans were like, go back to where you came from?
I think they tried that, though.
They did try. It didn't work.
White man got his guns out.
But, you know, the point of the fact is, like, we're really all immigrants. So how is it that you can tell these people they need to go somewhere else?
That's right.
It doesn't make sense to me. But that's just how I feel about it.
Word.
All right. So moving on from this immigrant discussion to a real certified American hero. All right. Can I get a drum roll?
Oh, who is this person?
Charles Ramsey. Ramsey.
Oh.
All that drum roll.
Oh.
The excitement is just too much.
That's right. Black Superman.
Charles Ramsey, the Black Superman.
That's right. I'm quoting that for you, Charles. Huh? If any other media person used it, remember where you got it here. Truth be told.
Sundjata say cool.
That's right.
The substance.
Black Superman.
All right. We want 10%, by the way. So, Mr. Ramsey, I'm sure a lot of you are aware of who he is. If not, before we get into anything, we're going to play the video of his interview in its entirety. This is how you will find out who Mr. Charles Ramsey is. You're welcome if you've been living under a rock. Here you go.
I'm talking with Charles Ramsey. He's a neighbor. Walk me through again what happened this afternoon. You heard screaming.
Heard screaming. I'm eating my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch.
Okay.
I go on the porch, and she says, "Help me get out. I've been in here a long time." So, you know, I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door, and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that a body can't fit through, only your hand. So we kick the bottom, and she comes out with the little girl, and she says, "Call 911. My name was Amanda Berry."
Now, did you know who that was when she said that?
When she told me, it didn't register until I got the call in 911, and I'm like, I'm calling the 911 for Amanda Berry? I thought this girl was dead. You know what I mean? And she got on the phone, and she said, "Yes, this is me." And the detective, Cook, right here, Detective Gregory Cook says, "Charles, do you know who you rescued?" I said.
Now, and when did you see? When did you see Gina?
About 5.
We're good. So
about 5 minutes after the police got here, see, the girl Amanda told the police, "I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house." So they went up there, you know, 30, 40 deep, and when they came out was just astonishing because I thought they were gonna come up with nothing. I figured, I mean, whoever she was, and like I say, my neighbor, you got some big testicles to pull this off, bro, because we see this dude every day. I mean, every day.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from?
Right.
I barbecue with this dude. We eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah. And you had no indication that there was anything going on?
Bro, not a clue that girl was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will. Because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day
What was the reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight, to be around people.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
either she homeless or she problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
Charles, thank you for being there, man. Charles Ramsey, neighbor, heard the screaming, took action.
All right, so for those of you who have not seen the video, now you're aware of who Mr. Charles Ramsey is. Where to begin? There's a lot going on in this video. Now, I, for one, I want to, from the gate, say that I'll take nothing away from this man. He is, for all intents and purposes, a hero. Like him and the gentleman that helped him, because they don't really talk about him. That guy wasn't on the camera.
Hispanic guy.
Hispanic guy. So these two guys are heroes. Right. You know what I mean? Granted, for whatever reason, they just happened to hear something. They went over there and they got the girl out, and now you know what happens next. There's a few things I cannot front. This video is hilarious.
Ribs.
By itself, it's hilarious. We used to barbecue, ribs,
his perm.
You know something's wrong when a pretty white girl runs into a black man's arms. Like, horrible. But you know what? It is what it is. He's still a hero. So we played that for A, the comedic value of it, B, to enlighten you to the situation if you did not know about it, and C, to bring up this point. Why is it that the mainstream media seems to have this fetish for making not even just black people, but of course I'm going to say black people more so, but not just black people, but people of color, minorities, look bad in the media. Now, I know you guys are probably thinking, what are you talking about? He was talking, it was an interview, he made himself look however he looked. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that this gentleman is a hero.
Like Superman.
The police were not able to find these three women. 10 years they've been gone. Right? And he found them. He's a big hero. What happens next? Within a week of this story breaking, The Smoking Gun, which is a website,
F them,
breaks a story. I won't even say breaks, because it's not like huge, amazing news. But they go ahead and publish that he's had 3 domestic abuse altercations, has gone to jail for those, and doesn't pay child support. Now, this is my thing. These are all morally negative things. Right. You should not hit anybody. Man shouldn't hit woman. Woman shouldn't hit man. None of that. You should pay your child support. You should take care of your kids. Right. Obviously. But what does that have to do with the price of rice in China, as people like to say? For those of you who don't know, it's just a statement. Exactly. It's like, what is that? What are you talking about? And that's the point. It has nothing to do with anything. Who cares? Why does that take away from what this man just did?
You ranting, bro?
Am I ranting? Am I doing this in Sundjata right now? I'm feeling the way.
You're ranting.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm upset, man.
Feel, son. Yo, I know how you feel.
Yo,
F the smoking gun.
F the smoking gun.
That's right.
Media in general, except for truth be told.
That's right.
Because what are you doing? This man is a hero. Let the man do. Let him live. Let him get his shine.
Tell him. I'm right.
I'm telling him why I'm mad, son.
Tell him why you're mad. Keep on, keep going, son. Keep going.
No, I just feel like it's totally unnecessary. Like, what does what happened in his past have to do with the feat he just accomplished?
That's right.
Nothing.
That's right.
So you guys feel like you guys are like ill or like so super news people now because you found out he had some negativity in his past?
That's right.
Now let me go ahead and tell you this. A positive note.
Wait.
This man talked to TMZ.
TMZ.
Who probably would have broke it first if they heard it, but whatever. And said, you know what? I don't feel bad. I'm not ashamed of what happened in my past.
That's right.
What happened in my past made me who I am today.
Tell him, Black Superman.
See what I'm saying? He said, if it wasn't for me going to jail for the things that I had done, I may not have been that same person. Now I strive to help people.
Tell him.
Now I strive to be a betterment to my community.
Amen.
And those women that I saved.
That's right.
So he took the high road. You know what I mean? He could have been like, F y'all, why y'all going to my... No, he said, it's all right, I'm not ashamed of what happened.
Let's say for him. F y'all. Get out of that man's face. Now, when Arthur Schmelingberg, the guy who landed the plane out in the Hudson, no, it was the East River. Remember that?
Yes,
a couple years ago.
I remember.
He was a hero. He got book deals. The media was all over him. He was on Good Morning America. It was nothing negative brought up against him. And we all have something negative you could bring up.
Always.
None of us are perfect.
Always.
We all have something that we're ashamed of we shouldn't have done. All right? But nothing negative came up amongst this man. This man was everywhere. Right? But because this man now come out and save someone, you bring negativity about Black Superman. If Black Superman went there and he saved the little 3 girls, probably saved their lives, and instead of cherishing him, perhaps worshiping him for this thing, you now trying to bring up the most negative form of his past that you possibly can. F the smoking gun. F, what is that? TMZ. You can get it too.
Why? What did they do?
I don't know. They just there. They need to get it for something.
You standing next to the person about to get hit, you get hit. That's what happens.
That's right.
So I just feel like it's unnecessary. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And Brothers and Sundjata posted something on the page about Antoine Dodson.
Sweet Brown.
And Sweet Brown.
Sweet Brown is the woman that said what?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't
nobody got time for that. I'm sorry. It's hilarious. Nah, I understand.
Sweet Brown. So.
Sweet Brown, she just escaped her building. She didn't do anything like, amazingly like, oh my God, that's, you know what I'm saying? So they made a parody of it. It was funny, we
Black. We have rhythm. We have soul. We natural entertainers a lot of times. So when you get us with a camera, we get a little excited, and then we start rapping. We may start singing. We may start bebopping.
Dancing.
We may start dancing. This is the way we are. So Sweet Brown, that's another hero. I don't know what she did, but...
Well, you know what? I will say this. For all of that internet, joking they get on her, she's parlayed it into a fruitful business.
Good for you, Sweet Brown.
She's doing very well for herself. She has a manager. She's been on radio stations. Like, she's doing well. You know what I mean? So, more power to her.
That's right. What about Antoine Dodson?
I don't know what's going on with him. But you know what? Honestly, he was a hero as well because he
saved the sister. Somebody tried to rape her.
But what the media does, they vilify these people, man.
That's right.
They may have some quirky things about them, and nobody's gonna lie. Some of the stuff, the source material, it's funny. We're human, we'll laugh, but don't make them into negative individuals to serve a purpose. Like this gentleman did something so positive, and the next thing you know, the media is finding out every little thing that's happened in his past. Negative it as it may be, that has nothing to do with what he did.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Let the man live, yo.
That's right.
Feeling away. I'm sorry.
You could feel away. Because let's just break it down. Let's just call it what it is. They see a Black Superman out there, and then they find this negativity about the Black Superman. Again, the guy who landed the plane, no negativity. He's a hero. But here comes Black Superman now with a past, which we all have. We all have these things in our past. Black Superman saved 3 white girls' lives, and he should be treated like a hero. That's right. He's from Cleveland. There should be a Charles Ramsey Day.
Or at least a Charles Ramsey Street.
That's right. He should be Grand Marshal in a parade somewhere.
Let me tell you something. Oh, this is going to sound racist, but this is truth be told, and it's how I feel.
Let's hear this, bro.
Well, after last week, we can say whatever we want. It's internet.
Okay.
All right, it's the internet. Be prepared to hear anything on Truth Be Told. It's my firm belief that if the person that had saved those young women had been a Caucasian, there would be no talk of his past, regardless of what it entailed. He would become a hero. He would be on your Good Morning Americas.
Yeah,
on your.
I just alluded to the same thing I alluded to before.
Yeah, like I think it would be different, and I think the media has not something against minorities, but maybe it's a trickle down effect from the people that control the media. Like for some reason, the negativity always comes, and I think it's unnecessary.
That's right. So this is what I want for Charles Ramsey. a Charles Ramsey Day where he's given the key to the city of Cleveland. That should be one. A Charles Ramsey, a parade. What's coming up? Memorial Day? They have parades on Memorial Day. Cleveland, the state of Ohio. Make that happen. Grand Marshal in a parade. That should happen. He should throw out the pitch at a Cleveland Indians game. That should happen. Simon and Schuster should give him a book deal.
What's the book going to be about?
My life.
The 10 minutes it took me to save this.
You just call it My Life. Like, this guy landed a plane in there. Like, he landed a plane there, but he got a book deal.
Point taken.
Right?
I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
That's right. So, book deal. The movie, Charles Ramsey. Realize you got to star in that.
I got to play Charles Ramsey?
I want you to play Charles Ramsey.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You're going to have to grow out that hair. You're going to have to perm it. And you're going to have to play Charles Ramsey.
Listen, his hair was another source of issue for people. Like, the guy was chilling. He was on the block.
It's real.
Like, you know,
it's real.
What was he supposed to have on? What was his attire supposed to be?
You know, a lot of people don't like this person, but Flavor, when his show was on, a lot of people despise it. It put black people back 10,000 years into before the dinosaurs or whatever. But it's real. That's the way he is. Like me, I love authenticity. Yeah. If you come out and you act the way you are, and you show the world the way you are, I love that. I just hate frauds. I hate if you go on TV or you go on the radio or you appear in front of the people and you act like someone you're not. You know, so I don't like that. So these people, you see Charles with his hair like that, the man said he was eating his McDonald's. A lot of people eat McDonald's. Which is an endorsement for McDonald's. I hope he got money for that. I heard McDonald's said they're going to give him something or whatever. But somebody needs to do something instead of trying to tear this man down. We should start a Charles Ramsey fund. And you can send all of that. How many of you want to donate to the Charles Ramsey fund? You can send all of that to RealEyez, Carol, Truth Be Told. I'll make sure he gets it. We'll make sure he gets it. Remember that woman and the bus driver? Remember the bus driver woman? Yeah. We talked about that last season, where the kids were bullying her, yeah. And she got raised over $500,000. She got paid. Over $500,000 were raised for her. This should happen for Charles Ramsey. We need what's the name of those sites? Is it the Color of Change? colorofchange.org. We need you to start a petition to raise some money for Charles Ramsey. If we shouldn't wait for America to honor our heroes. We shouldn't wait for Main Street America to honor our heroes. We should honor our own heroes. And since he's our own hero, he's Black Superman, we should make this happen for Charles Ramsey. I want to shout out to Looney Tunes, Blackout, I Will, all in the chat room. Tunes said he disagrees. He said that if it was a white... You always disagree with race type stuff, Lou. Come on. He said if it was a white person that looked... How did he phrase it? If he looked like a broke, uneducated white man, his arrest record would come out. Name one, Lou. Let's not talking hypotheticals. Name one. I'm waiting. What? Name what? Name one. No, that's broke, uneducated, that was on TV, and he was a hero, and then they brought up his past. Name one. Yeah. Lou. We'll see Lou in like 2 weeks. It's going to take him that long to find somebody, if one exists. He's not. Lou, I'm waiting for you. I'm going to wait here until the show, and you can type it in at any time. Right? All right. Let's stop talking hypotheticals. Let's talk in real. I mean, that's how I feel, man. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. What else the chat room is saying? Let's see. Blackout said that you're gonna have your own dance like that lover. Why? I guess when we're talking about black people dancing and rapping, bebopping on camera. Not a dancer. Sure, why not? He's gonna premiere it for you on the next show. Next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not gonna be cool enough to cool in here, Blackout. I'm gonna cool. We don't cool here. We don't cool here. Okay. All right. So I mean, I don't know. Let's get into the moment of truth on this situation. I'll go first. Okay. Start ranting. Moment of truth. Truth be told, I feel like the media on many
many occasions sucks. I feel like, not to go into my usual conspiracy theory mode.
Go into it.
But the media is not just the media. It's controlled. The stories that are put out are the ones that they're told to put out. And they avoid other things. Why don't you see, there are tons of positive things that happen. All right? Tons of positive things that happen that are never reported on. And you just hear the negative, and you just hear all of that stuff. I believe it's a farce. But that's just me. So I'm honestly not surprised that they would try to vilify Mr. Ramsey. He's a human being. He made mistakes. He served his time. He's paid his quote-unquote debt to society. Let him bask in the glory of what he did. That's it.
Truth be told, F smoking gun. Yeah. We're gonna honor our heroes, because we all have a brother, cousin, father who is like a Charles Ramsey, who has potential to be good, but sometimes they do negative. So the following things should happen. As I mentioned, let me just reiterate: parade, first pitch, movie played by Charles Ramsey, played by RealEyez, book, and lastly, I am Will, you're out there. We need to hook Charles Ramsey with a Spanish chica. We need him with a Spanish chica. Because we're gonna bring the communities together on this one. We need him with a Spanish chica. So I am Will. We need the cousins, aunts, sisters. I know we're gonna hook Charles Ramsey up with inner beauty. That's what we're gonna do. Inner beauty. That's what we're gonna do. That's my truth be told. We're gonna find him a wife. Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes.
We want 10%. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of TV show associated with this, I'm sure.
Of course.
So we want 25%. That's what I meant to say.
They should have a show like Flavor of Love for Charles Ramsey.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah. I'm just bubbling with ideas for you there, Charles. I'm just bubbling with ideas for you.
You need a manager.
That's right.
Here we go. Truth be told in the building.
That's right.
All right, cool. So there we have it. Shout out to Charles Ramsey, true American hero. Final topic, main topic for the evening. I'm sure a lot of you guys, well, maybe you're not, but maybe you are aware that the FBI, has, I won't say broken a record, made history. They have listed their first female on the FBI's most wanted list. And not only did they list her on the list, they listed her as a domestic terrorist. That's a big word. That's a power word in this country with everything that's going on since 9/11. Terrorist. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you a picture. Bam. So that is Assata Shakur. I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with her or her story, but she's been named to the FBI's most wanted list as a domestic terrorist. That has so many implications on this country. But before we get into that, should we get into some of her backstory?
Yeah, of course. Because, most of us don't like history. We don't care about history. We don't concern about even what happened yesterday. So let people inform people about it.
What happened yesterday?
I don't know.
Exactly. See? All right. Assata Olubala Shakur. You see, the Nigerian just came out of me just there. You like that, right? Assata Olubala Shakur, born July 16, 1947. She's born as Joanne Deborah Byron. Her married name was, I don't know.
Chesamar.
Okay, thank you, because I was going to mess that up. Her married name was Chesamar, all right? She was an African-American activist and Black Liberation Army activist. Between 1971 and 73, she was accused of mad crimes and made the subject of a multi-state manhunt, all right? Let's see. The biggest thing, in May of 1973, she was involved in a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike. So right here in our great state. For those of you who aren't from New Jersey, Truth Be Told is filmed in New Jersey. Shout out to MJ. All right. Was involved in a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike with New Jersey State Trooper Werner Forrester and BLA member Zayed Malik Shakur. Both of these men were killed, and Trooper James Harper were wounded. Long story short, she was basically, obviously, arrested and put in prison for this. She was convicted of manslaughter, as well as, murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, bank robbery, kidnapping, tons of stuff. But she, not manslaughter, she eventually went to jail for first-degree murder.
Does it say how that story was, that she was in the back of the car, and I believe she was handcuffed when the shooting started?
Are you serious?
And Malik, the other gentleman, Shakur, was outside the car, and he was killed.
So you're telling me she was sitting in the back?
She was sitting in the... Does it say that?
No, of course not.
You see, the thing about our history a lot of times is distorted. And you have to go in deeper and look at certain things. So what happened was, I believe, and I'm pretty sure, chat room, you can check, she was in the back of the car. I am Will. I know you read the book, read her autobiography. She had an autobiography. I'm not sure if this was in there, but she had an autobiography called Assata. But anyway, she was in the back of the police car, and I believe she was handcuffed when the shooting started. There was a shooting, but the shooting was outside the car. And what she said was she heard pop, 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 and she went lights out. So let me give you another backstory that they don't tell you. There was a program started by the Federal Bureau of Investigation called COINTELPRO. And COINTELPRO was set up so it can destabilize the Black and Hispanic and Native American, I would call them civil rights organization. Whether it was the NACP, whether it was the Nation of Islam, whether it was the Black Panthers specifically, it was started so that they can dismantle these groups. Another part of the backstory is Fred Hampton was a Chicago activist, a part of the Black Panthers. Fred Hampton was like a gang leader before he started the Black Panthers. And what he started doing in Chicago was uniting the gang. So what happened was Fred Hampton, friend of Fred Hampton, became a snitch for the FBI. The snitch gave a layout of Fred Hampton's apartment. With information from that and the FBI, the Chicago police, I'm going to get back to her. I just want to give you a little backstory. The Chicago police went to Fred Hampton's house and pumped 100 and something shots into his house with his pregnant girlfriend there. So he was on the bed and other people was in the house and they just start shooting in the house. And from what I understand is there was 100 and something shots fired that they counted coming from outside in, and there were maybe 2 or 3 shots going from inside out. So Fred Hampton wound up dying, but his pregnant girlfriend wound up living. So what the Panthers did was they opened the house for people to come and see the brutality that happened with Fred Hampton. And matter of fact, Fred Hampton was sleeping when the shooting started, because many people that know about police and know how they operate, they come in the early morning to arrest so that they won't have any confrontation anyway. But this was maybe 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when they came and shot the place. So the FBI and their leader of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, said that the Black Panther Party was the most dangerous group in America. So the FBI tried to target them, and whether with illegal or legal means. So another group, and I'm going to get back to Assata, but a lot of times we have to know about the backstory, because the backstory and the arc is as important as the incident.
Indeed.
Another group that was doing it was a group of white liberals called the Weather Underground. They were about that life. Like the Panthers, they were about that life. They were about getting the oppressors off of you by any means necessary. They took that slogan from Malcolm, and that was their mantra. By any means necessary, we got to get the pigs off of us because we have to defend ourselves and defend our rights because we weren't getting their rights. So anyway, the FBI, along with many local police stations, had it out for the Panthers. So the Panthers in cities like Chicago, cities like LA, cities like New York, they were on constant surveillance. One of the person who was on constant surveillance, remember her last name is Shakur, was Tupac's mother. She was on constant surveillance also because Mutulu Shakur, which was her brother, was on constant surveillance. And so the FBI wind up infiltrating these organizations and arresting the people who were a part of it and even killing some of the members who were a part of it. So what happened was, at this point, this woman was being watched because the FBI, the cops that stopped her gave her a bogus statement of why they stopped her. They said something like, oh, broken tail light, or she didn't make a left. So, you know how cops make these things up in order to stop and search you. Something like that. So they searched them because they probably thought they would have weapons in their car. Because again, the Panthers was about that action. They weren't like these rappers that talk about they're about that action, weren't. The Panthers were about that action. So anyway, they went to search the car, and with a lot of the state police, they have this arrogant behavior towards black and Hispanic people. So they have this arrogance, even to this day. A lot of the state police, they had to get lawsuits against them for their illegal behavior of stopping blacks and Hispanics going down a turnpike. So what happened was they stopped them, and they probably had the arrogant attitude. And Malik, who's like a man, he's going to stand up. Like some guys, like the cops come in, who are you? Where you going? They already know them. They already surveil them. So they know who's in the car. They know their names. Matter of fact, they even probably know their plate numbers. So they probably had that arrogant attitude. So they had a shootout. Assata Shakur was in the back of that car, and she said she heard the shots fired and she passed out. All right, so that's the incident that it was. To give an overarching view, the FBI, local police was watching the Panthers everywhere they go. They would identify who were the leaders and they would target them. That's why the Panthers group got disabled. So I can get to the Black Liberation Army. So I'll let you go ahead with that story. Then I can pick it up from there.
All right. So basically, Assata was placed in prison. Right.
But she went on a run for a while.
Yeah. Good
Even
point.
after she was shot. She was on a run for a while.
She was on a run for a while.
Right.
Then they had like wanted posters up for her. Her supporters were putting up posters like Assata is welcome here. Right. Like in different areas. So I mean, personally, I wouldn't even believe that, because what if it was the FBI? Like, yeah, Assata's welcome here. But that's that's what was going on. Eventually, she was captured. She went to prison. And then, like a badass, like not even like a badass, she is a badass, she broke out of prison.
All right, let me give a backstory on that. Real quick. After they disabled the Panthers, right? They got rid of the leadership. They had Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton started the Panthers. And they were getting arrested left and right. The FBI was very successful. COINTELPRO was very successful on eliminating a lot of the Panther members. Eldridge Cleaver was another Panther member. He had to flee. He went to Africa, Algeria, and hide out for a while. So a lot of the Panther leadership was dismantled because of
divide and conquer.
Right. So the most guys with the boldest spirit say, you know what? F them. It's war. So they start a separate organization called the Black Liberation Army. The BLA. And to give the total story, the BLA, Black Liberation Army, they were really about that life, because in order to fund their operations, what they would do was they would rob banks. True story. Mutulu Shakur would even tell you the same thing. Tupac's stepfather. He's still in jail for these activities and for his political activities with the Black Panther. But they would rob banks in order to fund them, and they need money to live on, right? So the Black Liberation Army broke into that prison, and with me just thinking, with help from corrections officers. I don't know that for sure, but you can't break into prison without help from the inside. It just makes sense to me. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So what happened was they broke her out of prison, and she was on the run for a couple more years, and then she ended up in Cuba. And then she received asylum in Cuba from El Comandante Fidel Castro. What else do you have there, bro?
Everything you're saying.
Oh, okay.
You're on point, brother. Let's see.
What else?
1984 is when she got to Cuba.
Right.
She was granted asylum. The Cuban government pays approximately $13 a day towards her living expenses. In 85, she was reunited with her daughter, Kakua, who had previously been raised by Shakur's mother in New York. She published her autobiography, Assata, which she wrote while in Cuba in 1987. Yeah, it's been used in critical legal studies and critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
It says it does not give a detailed account of the events on the turnpike.
No, because it's still a legal issue here in the United States. You can't really go into details about it because they'll bring it up in the court. But what wound up happening, I was driving on 22 just this week. I went to my favorite store, Barnes & Noble's, and I went to go get a book. And driving on 22, I saw it, Wanted. They actually gave Assata Shakur, a.k.a. Joanne Chesimard, Wanted domestic terrorist. I actually saw it.
Wow.
You know they have the
digital,
big thing, the digital ones. That's the one I
ones.
saw. I actually saw it, and I said, "Oh man, I'm going to take a picture." But I would end up in an accident trying to take a picture. Yeah, but I actually saw that. So again, we know how racist this country can be, right? We know that for sure. And then you have people who try to fight against the racism in this country. So, but if you're going to fight against the racism in this country, the government is going to fight back against you.
Yep.
So what happened, I think, when did she become a domestic terrorist? Domestic terrorist. When did that happen?
That was this month. Last month.
Last month. I think it's no coincidence that Jay-Z went to Cuba, and now he's bringing attention to Cuba, and then this thing of domestic terrorists is brought up from our sister, Assata Shakur. I think it's no coincidence whatsoever. I think it's intentional. I sure do think it's intentional. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think because attention was brought to Jay-Z going there and people thinking about Cuba and people talking about Cuba, the relations of Cuba and America is strained. This is all politics and nonsense. The relationship of Cuba and America is strained. So what happens was, since there was so much backlash of Jay-Z going there, bringing attention to Cuba and talking about Cuba, because, you know, Jay-Z is a trendsetter. In order to keep those relationships strained, Assata Shakur come on the FBI most wanted list so they can keep the separation of Cuba and America. And people want to go to Cuba.
I want to correct something I said. I said it was last month. It was actually this month.
This month?
No. I'm sorry.
Wait, a couple weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago that she became a domestic terrorist.
I don't know.
I mean, that they put this thing up about her.
I believe it was last month, but according to this, it says May 2nd, 2005.
She became
the 32nd anniversary of the Turnpike shootings. The FBI classified her as a domestic terrorist.
No, but she was the first one to be classified as domestic terrorist. No, this
has to be incorrect.
Yeah. Because something changed that made her the first to be.
Oh, no. Know what it is? Okay. May 2nd, 2005, she was declared a domestic terrorist.
Right.
What happened was this year, she was made the first woman on the most wanted list.
First woman on the most wanted list. Okay, so that's what changed.
And that's the most wanted list of terrorists, not just
in the world.
Yeah,
so
that's not like
Osama bin Laden was so-called still alive, she'll be on the list.
Same list with him. As opposed to just like they have the most wanted list for criminals.
Right.
This is the most wanted list for terrorists.
Right.
So that's what the big deal was. And They went from a $1 million bounty to a $2 million bounty. Let's see. The New Jersey State Police Superintendent Rick Fuentes said she is now 120 pounds of money. That's when they announced the increase in the bounty.
120 pounds? Oh, she weighs 120 pounds?
I'm assuming. I guess that's what he was trying to insinuate.
If any of you watching are going to go and try to get the reward money, you will never live to see it. You will never live to see it. Assata Shakur is under all types of security in Cuba.
Well, this is the thing, right? And I was reading something about that. The Cuba that Assata Shakur ran to and gained asylum from was Fidel Castro's Cuba.
Right.
Fidel Castro is ailing. He's on his way out.
His brother still control the country, Raul Castro.
Yeah, and they said that he's completely different from Castro, is what I've been reading. They said that if the U.S. continues throwing these olive branches, because, you know, they still have these trade embargoes against Cuba.
Right.
So if the U.S. keeps throwing these olive branches, his brother is not Fidel. He's not. He may be like, you know what? I could use a good relationship with, you know, the most powerful country in the world. You know what I'm saying? My brother's about to be gone. Hey, Assata, it's been real.
You're right. He might do that because you never know with these political situations because there's no such things as a loyalty when it comes to people in their politics.
This is true.
Politicians switch sides all the time. So he might. You never know. But I think knowing that the situation that people of color, black people have been through in this country, knowing that a woman stood up for our rights and a woman really was about that life, it made me praise the women of this country so much. The women have been through it, whether it's black, Asian, Hispanic, women who have been through it, that's held us down as men. If us men have to go through it, our women go through it twice as much. Because not only are they dealing with the situations we're dealing with, they're dealing with us. It's going to be a pain in the ass. They're dealing with us. And they have to deal with more sexual things also. So in order to show that, to me, that's why me personally, I can never be a sexist. And I can always ride for women because the women will have your back no matter what. She was in a car with a man. She was willing to go out on a blaze. Most people knowing that because at this time, when that situation happened with her, she knew the Panthers knew that they were under surveillance. They knew that the FBI was gunning for them.
She was a ride or die.
And she was down for her man. And I always have to give props to those women. I always have to give props to women.
Amen. I agree. Unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Man.
Yeah, so it's time for the moment of truth. That's right. We every week now, but we only 45 minutes. So, moment of truth, brother.
My moment of truth. Man, somebody going in on the page. Oh, I was just taking. My moment of truth is that Assata Shakur, much like Charles Ramsey, they are heroes. And to let me just, my moment of truth also, my wife, I am well. What's up, baby? I love you. She's out there. She's the one that really put me up on Assata Shakur. She knew about, I was more into UEP. You know, I was being more of a chauvinist kind of, because I was into UEP. I know about UEP's story. UEP Newton helped start the Black Panthers. And I know about Bobby Seale's story, another one, because I read UEP Newton's book, Revolutionary Suicide. I read that book, but she told me about Assata. And matter of fact, she told me to put the thing about Assata on the page. So I had to give it my moment of truth for my truth be told. Let me give a shout out to my ride or die chick, I Am Will, for holding a brother down. And I know you probably take a bullet for me too, baby. So if you're going to take a bullet for me, I love my lady too. So my moment of truth is I always have to honor, support, and give my utmost respect to the women who are down for their man and ultimately down for a cause. That's my moment of truth.
Cool. My moment of truth. Truth be told, I feel that there's so much involved with this whole Assata Shakur thing, man. Like, I feel like it's the government just trying to basically, you know, control more and more of everything and take away more and more rights from the people of this once great sovereign nation. But, you know, just my thought. That's it. With the truth be told. We thank you guys for watching. You can catch us next week, same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please hit us up on the page, facebook.com/itsalltruth. You know what I mean? We're up there, especially Brother Sundjata. Also, TBT Show on Twitter. So at TBT Show, follow us. Truth Be Told Tuesday on Instagram. It's all truth at gmail.com. And my Twitter is RealEyez Mist, RealEyezmyst. Hit me up. And
H Hot W Substance and Lou. I'm still waiting. We're going off.
He might have replied. I don't know. The chat room was acting funny. So, again, thank y'all for watching. And we will see you guys next week.
Word.
Peace out.